Peace. What's the word? What's happening, everybody? Hopefully, everybody is having a powerful, positive, productive, peaceful Sunday. Hopefully, the weekend has been all peace and y'all done got some things done, got some things accomplished. We tapped in. It's been a minute since I've been on this stream, but we got a little something to say. We got something to build on. So, hopefully, y'all got about 45 minutes or so to tap in, listen to the build, and add on. So I'm gonna give y'all about 5, 6 minutes to tap in. Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Sunday. So what's the word? Tap in with me, man. Let me know how y'all living and feeling on this wonderful Sunday. Talk to me before I start talking to y'all. What's the word, man? It's been a minute, but we tapped in. We ready to build. Antoinette, Peach Queen, what's happening, my good sister? What's the word? How we living? How we feeling on this wonderful Sunday, man? What's the word? How everybody holding up? Javon, peace, peace. What's happening? Hey, for sure. I don't even know if I did a stream for 2024, but we tapped in now. We tapped in now. Oh yeah, Antoinette. Hey, I've been ducked off. Haven't been haven't been streaming as much. Hey, but we in here though. We still here. We've been working. Studying behind the scenes type of vibes. But here we tap back in. Q Peace, what's happening, man? Everything is good. Can't complain, man. How y'all living? How y'all feeling? Shit, new peace. What's happening? Beast by Bless. What's happening, Montel? Peace. What's happening? What's the word? It's a lot of things that have been trending that's right up my alley. As far as Hollyweird, I know y'all know about Cat Williams, all this type of stuff that's been happening. This is stuff that, is right up my alley. Things I used to talk about all the time back in the day, even before I was on YouTube streaming. And I done just been kind of laying low, letting everybody get some things off their chest in regards to that industry. It's one of the industries that I always talked about. I've been telling folks about how trash the mainstream is and how wicked Hollyweird is. And of course, I ain't the only one that's been doing that. It's been a lot of folks that's been striving to warn folks, even before I was born. Steve Coakley is one of the good brothers back in the day, RIP, that put me on a lot of game in regards to the secret societies and all that type of stuff and all of what be going on in Hollyweird and whatnot. And we done talked about some of the movies that I done tapped into or that I tapped into back in the day that was kind of putting me on game. Stanley Kubrick and all of that, Eyes Wide Shut, They Live. These type of movies, man, just kind of let you know. And it was a legit movie called Skull and Bones. I talked about all of this type of stuff on some prior streams. So we always been kind of letting folks know what be going on within this industry, within the mainstream. And it's all wicked, it's all some nonsense. It's all some nonsense. Hey, Pisces, what's happening? Shakira, peace, what's happening, man? Hey, everything is peaceful, divine, peace, what's happening? Montel, hey, there we go. You say back to the college life. I know about that. Pisces, man, Hollyweird is a minstrel show. It's trash. It's full of. Listen, don't even. Woo, don't get me started on that, man. It's full of wickedness, full of wickedness. Now, some of those folks, I don't care to see them fall. Like I don't like somebody like Diddy, all these, like I don't be caring. They be signing these contracts, you know what I'm saying? And these contracts be very wicked, so these people knowing what they signing up for, and when these folks, when these white folks, when these devils, what we call them, when you have served your purpose with them, when you have fulfilled that obligation in that contract, then they do away with you. And they do away with you. Now allegations start to come out. So when you start seeing these allegations come out, one or two things then happen. One or two things. Either that person has fulfilled the contract, the obligation, and they are of no use, or they made somebody upset. They made a very powerful person upset. Those are the only two things that have possibly occurred when you start seeing people within that industry get hit with a bunch of allegations that appear to have come out of nowhere. They either made somebody powerful, very, very powerful, upset, or they have fulfilled the obligation. They fulfilled the contract and they are of no use. And they know too much about what goes on. So now it's time to, time to hit it with all the allegations. But these folks be knowing what they signed up for. They be knowing. So I don't really have a lot of sympathy for folks that enter that industry and sign those contracts. Folks don't be dumb. They be knowing what they signing up for, man. Some people are just fascinated with that lifestyle to the point where they don't care about selling themselves out, selling their people out, selling their mama out, selling their father out. Some people don't care. Some people want that money so bad. Some people want that fame and attention so bad that they are willing to sell themselves out or their family members or their kids. Like they don't care. They want that fame. They want that money. Then you got some people, such as myself, there is no price. Now I don't have no price. Like you can't purchase me. You know, you can't give me a contract and make a financial promise to me, and then that's enough to get me to sign on a dollar line. Like, nah, my integrity is everything. You know, my integrity is everything. But in some folks, the integrity means absolutely anything. And those are the individuals that industry targets. They want the people who don't have integrity, who don't have morals, you know, who not striving to be righteous. That's who they want. They can influence them to sign this garbage contract. You know, that's who they want. We can brainwash them. We can influence them to sign this garbage contract, and we can get them to make all the moves that we need them to make. Straight up. Hey, Goddess, what's happening? The longest Jordan, peace, what's happening? Hey, Blaze, what's happening? Oh, yeah, that integrity over everything for sure. You know, we got to stop being so gullible, man. Hey, Q, peace, what's happening, my brother? We got to stop being gullible. We got to stop being naive. We got to stop being so quick to sign on the dollar line because they promising us some funds, fam. Got to stop moving like that. Analyze the contract, thoroughly analyze and examine that contract, man. Get a lawyer if you have to, you know, but don't just sign something because they promising you either some money. But a lot of times the way they do the black folks, man, they promise them, you know, the whips and the chains, the cribs and all this type of good stuff. That's enough to get some black folks to sign on the dollar line. You know, we got a lot of stories, especially when it comes to the music industry. You know, the first contract that a lot of these artists sign be terrible contracts. They ain't even get any money for some of their first like albums and things like that. And then later down the line, they ended up learning the game and they started speaking on it. You know, but that's how they do it. They go find the naive mind. They go find the gullible mind. Make them sign this terrible contract. And they reaping all the benefits of the work that artist is putting in. And then by the time that artist is learning what they need to learn, they done already got the prime years, the prime music from that artist. So now this artist 3 or 4 albums in, probably the best albums that they didn't put out. Now after the fact, now they didn't learn a little something like, oh, okay, now this is what's happening. And now they trying to recoup all of that they missed out on. But man, those your prime albums right there. Them first 4 albums, them the ones. Them the ones. Now you done learned and you on album number 5, nobody wants to hear you anymore. And then now the industry done blackballs you now because now you done learned something and you served your purpose and now you ain't got the marketing dollars, all that type of stuff. They working against you now. So now it's that much harder for you to be seen and heard. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. That's why to prevent any and all of that, I'm not signing any contract to begin with. I'm going to grind hard, do my own thing from the jump, what they call grassroots. You know, I'd rather struggle that way. You know, I'd rather get it straight out of the mud, struggle that way. And it's where there's a will, there's a way. I actually had somebody ask me that. Like, do I believe that? Is it possible for us to reach a certain financial amount, you know, without having any dealings with these folks? You know what I'm saying? With these devils, with these monsters, with these wicked folks. And it's definitely possible. See, we got to reprogram the mind. We got to stop thinking that we can't achieve or accomplish the same things that they are achieving and accomplish just in a righteous manner. Man, we can do whatever we put our minds to. You know, I've been studying the subconscious mind a little too long for somebody to tell me what I can't do. You know, so if I know, listen, if I say or if I speak something, then I know that it's possible. So I'm not about to allow that industry, I'm not about to allow these wicked folks to instill fear in me, you know, and make me believe that it's impossible. Man, if I want to live a certain lifestyle, the only way that I can do it is to be wicked. Nah, I can do it a righteous way. It may be a slower way. It may be a slower process, but it can be done. it could be done for sure. You know, we may be working against a lot of machines, but it can still be done. You just got to move differently. You got to move strategically. And that's just what it is. But you're not about to tell me that it cannot be done. You know, again, I didn't study the subconscious mind way too long. You got plenty of low-key millionaires out here. You got plenty of low-key folks that have generated a lot of wealth. We just gotta move differently. That's it. That's all. You know, we gotta learn from the people that came before us. You know, we gotta learn from their mistakes. We gotta learn from their successes. It's just that simple. Oh yeah, Tory Lane. yeah, the Tory Lane situation, man. We can keep on. We can name a lot of folks. You know, in regards to who has been affected by Hollyweird, and you know who then went against the contracts, or who then fulfilled their obligations and then got thrown out to the wolves. You know, like straight up, Blaze exactly, and and that's another thing too. See, people like the money is cool, like it's a tool. It's all that it is, man. It's a tool. But for a lot of folks, money is it's like the goal. Like they striving to just get money, and that's it. So when you driven by just getting money, like when you have made that your purpose, man, that's when the wickedness, that's when the evil starts to really creep on in there. You know, when your whole purpose is just to go get money, like when you fuel by just getting money. Nah, man, you got to have a purpose that's a little bit bigger than getting the money. You know, if you got a purpose and you got that passion behind your purpose, all the money, all of that type of stuff is gonna come, man. The support, the love, the money, that's gonna come, man. Like that's how manifestation works. That's how the law of attraction works, man. I got this purpose, I got this passion behind my purpose, and every day I'm putting in work, you know, so that I can fulfill this purpose. Man, the support, the money that's gonna come. But you got a lot of folks because we done been westernized that we idolize this money. So our whole objective in life is to get money. You know, whole objective. Like we don't have no purpose outside of, man, I just need to make some money. Nah, man. What they say, you morally bankrupt at that point because you willing to do whatever it is for that money that really doesn't have any type of value at the end of the day. You know, so we gotta shift that mindset. We gotta shift our mentality. You know, it's a lot bigger than the money. But then when you start talking like that, because I've been talking like this for years, and people make it seem like that's a poor man's mentality. Well, I know a lot of poor folks that, hey, internally are wealthier than a lot of these people with the money, with the green piece of paper. Straight up. That's why you see a lot of them folks, a lot of these wealthy folks committing suicide and things like that. Because again, we already know what the money cannot buy, what the money cannot purchase. Straight up. You know, straight up. We see these folks, with this money. We see these folks that had this wealth and they can't handle life. They can't take it. And they committing suicide, taking themselves out the game. Because again, it's bigger than money, it's deeper than money. It's deeper than it. It's deeper than the money. You know what I'm saying? It's deeper. So you got to figure out your purpose before anything. And that purpose shouldn't revolve around that green piece of paper. It shouldn't revolve around a certain dollar amount in your account. That's cool if you end up getting it, but man, you got to focus on something outside of that. You got to focus on something a little bit outside of the green piece of paper, a little bit outside of that dollar bill. Because I don't know if y'all see where the world is headed, but dollar bill ain't really worth nothing these days. Hey, Tony, what's happening? Boom, what's happening? Hey, Pac, most definitely Pac. And Pac, before what happened to Pac happened, everybody know his situation. You know, he was ready to separate from his deal and go out on his own, do his own thing, and then boom, you know how that tends to go. You know how that tends to go. You know how that tends to go. You know, but I just been sitting back watching, paying attention, tapping in, seeing everybody's response. Because I remember back in the day of Nia's Peace, what's happening? I remember back in the day when I first was coming across a lot of this information in regards to Hollywood, when I was watching a lot of Professor Griff. I was Professor Griff up back in the day. I got plenty of his books, Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop. Man, I read that book way back in the day, and that's where I got a lot of recommendations for the movies. Professor Griffiths put me on game, big time. So I remember when I got a lot of this information, I was getting a lot of that information in regards to Hollywood, just how wicked the entertainment industry is, and these oaths and these sacrifices that they must make, things along those lines. And I was talking about it at a time where it was not that popular to talk about, and the responses that I would get at that time. I remember that. What they say nowadays, we keep receipts. Like, I keep receipts in regards to how many folks and who was thinking that I was crazy and lost my mind and all that type of stuff. Man, I went on periods where, man, you get in the whip with me or you getting around me, I'm listening to nothing but underground music, underground hip hop. Like, man, I wasn't listening to none of that stuff that's on the radio. I still don't listen to the radio. I don't, at this point, I don't know why you would listen to the radio, but man, I wasn't listening to the radio. It was straight. Everything I was listening to was something of substance, something with a message, something political, things like that. Like, I was on that vibe for a very long time. People was looking at me like I done lost my mind. People was looking at me like I was weird. I'm like, man, I don't want to listen to this music that's operating at a certain frequency, man. It affects me. It influences my thought process, whether I acknowledge it or not. It's influencing me in some way, shape, or form, because that's what music is. That's what music does. So I was taking that type of stuff seriously, man. The same with like movies and things like that. And then when I tapped in with Phil Valentine and he was like, make sure you watch everything with a critical eye, then that's what I started doing. I'm tapping into a movie and I'm really breaking down the symbolism. I'm breaking down the message, everything. I'm watching it with a critical eye. What are they telling me? What are they telling me to prepare for? What are they trying to warn me about? Because that's what these movies do. They're trying to warn you of something. They trying to warn you. What was that? Man, I be just watching stuff and be forgetting the names of the movies. But man, y'all know, man, what was that movie? That movie that's on Netflix, man. Y'all, somebody finna give me the name of the movie that was on Netflix that just came out, man, with the old white chick. The little white girl was liking Friends. Like, she just wanted to watch Friends in that movie, man. What was the name of that joint? Y'all done seen that. What was the name of that movie, man? Just dropped. I forgot the name though. It just dropped. When the little white girl, all she wanted to do was watch Friends, man. What was that with the black bro in it? Somebody give me the name. Yeah, Leave the World Behind. Yeah, that's it. Y'all, I just be tapped in. I don't be remember the names or nothing. Yeah, Leave the World Behind. Come on, man. The big slap in the face right there. They just slapped that right, boom, slapped in the face. But see, we treat it as entertainment. So we just watch a movie like that, and then we may talk about it for a few days, right? And then we forget about it. Then whole while they plotted. Everything that was in that movie, they executing it now. Like, all right, we're gonna throw it in their face. It's entertainment. They're gonna talk about it for 3-4 days. Boom. Then after 3 or 4 days, they forgot about it because they watched the next movie. And then the movie after that. So now their minds off of that. So now we can put everything into motion now. What they say, truth hidden in plain sight. So they hit us with the truth. Bow. Then all of a sudden they made us forget about it. So they hit us with a million different distractions. But they didn't let us know, hey, look forward to this. You can look forward to this. You can look forward to this. But that movie, hey, that movie had a lot in it. That movie had a lot in it, fam. That little movie had a lot in it, for real. Like, straight up. Hey, Virgil, peace for sure. Hey, and to keep it real, I wasn't necessarily contemplating stopping, but man, I just ain't been streaming as much. I ain't been feeling it, man. But I'm like, hold on. I ain't been feeling it as of late, but I'm back on it. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. Hey, we got word that my sound is muffled, man. Can y'all hear me clearly? Hey, let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. We got word that the sound is muffled, man. Let me know. Y'all having trouble hearing me? Can y'all hear me clearly? Like, let me know a little something before I continue on with this build. Because I don't think we have any problem with the mic, though. But it's been a minute. I ain't streamed in a minute, so it might be some problems, some technical difficulties. But let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. All right, cool. Y'all hear me? But yeah. Are we muffled? You know, that's the thing. Y'all can hear me, but am I muffled? Is the sound muffled? Let me know. I might have to figure something out. Now, you said it was a book first. I ain't even tap in with the book. I might have to tap in with the book though. And the longest, Jordan, you say the amount of celebrity men who chose to be emasculated by the dress ritual is crazy. The dress ritual, man. Let me tap in. Let me tap in a few times. Hold on. Yeah, no, hey, Professor Griff, man, listen. Professor Griff been my man's for a minute. Man, Professor Griff been my man for a minute. Yeah, Griff been my man's for a minute. If I had time to go back here and sift through my books, I got all Professor Griff books, man, and then books he done recommended, man. Professor Griff was put me on game early on, like straight up. All right, cool. Now, yeah, now I'm gonna go back to the longest Jordan comment. The longest Jordan's comment. The amount of celebrity men who chose to be emasculated by the dress ritual was crazy. That's part. See, that's part of it though, especially for black male actors. This is only a select few that can slip through that crack. You know what I'm saying? But that's part of the requirement. It's like nowadays. It's like 2024, like modern times. It's got to be, if you come into Hollywood with a script and you want your script to make it to the big screen, you got to include some LGBT type of content in the script. That's part of the deal. That's why you gonna see an element of that in every show, in every movie going forward. That's part of the deal, man. You cannot, if your script does not include that, then we not accepting it. We not accepting it. So some things are just part of the package. And these dudes wearing like these black men putting on dresses, for the most part, that's just you. That's part of the package. If you want to make it in Hollyweird as a black man, at some point you're gonna have to put on this dress. You're gonna have a role that's a woman. You're gonna be like you're gonna have to be Shanae. You're gonna have to be Wanda. You're gonna have to do all this type of stuff. You're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to do it. That's part of the package. If you want to make it to this level, this is what you're gonna have to do. At some point in your career, you're gonna have to do this if you want to make it to this level. Like if you want to get your career now, we'll let you not wear it, but you probably gonna only remain at this level. But if you want to take it up a notch, if you want to really, if you want us to really blow you up, at some point you're gonna have to take on one of these characteristics or one of these characters. And back in the day, it was like, all right, funny, boom. But nowadays, man, just as a grown man, like that stuff don't be funny to me. You know, when I see a dude, comedian, all that, and when I see them acting too feminine, when I see them just acting like that, that's not funny to me anymore. Back in the day, maybe so. You know, they may have got me as a kid, but now I don't laugh at none of that. When dudes playing them type of roles, man, I don't really find that funny. Like it's not funny. You know, you're not about to make it seem like the only way mugs can be funny is if they acting like that. Like, nah, like, no. Like, that stuff is not really funny to me. Like, ever since I done got older, when I start seeing men just be too extra, whether it be a comedian, you know, they just being too extra or they being extra feminine up there, like, nah, I'm cool. I ain't laughing at that. It's a way that you can be funny without having to do all that. You know, you don't have to do all that to be funny, fam. You do not have to do that. You know, I can't take that. I can't stand when I see brothers up there like acting like that. Like I can't stand when I see that. I can't stand when I see the brother putting on a dress. I can't stand when I see the brother having to take on one of these female roles and make himself a woman. Like, don't we no, it's plenty of female actors out here. We shouldn't have to do that. Like we shouldn't have to do that. Oh, Blake, man, I'm trying to tell you, plenty of stories for that, But hey, again, part of the part of that contract, And when you start going against that contract, when you start going against that grain, man, what's old dude? Man, I be forgetting everybody's name when it come to that. Man, let me find out bro name real quick. Hold on. Let me find out dude name, man, because I had watched the interview with bro way back when, and he was talking about this gay role that he played and just how he regretted that gay role and just how that gay role traumatized. Man, I gotta find him though. What is bro name? Man, when I be trying to tell you, boy, when I be needing to find folks, can't find. Man, y'all give me a second. I'm about to find my bro. I'm about to find bro name, man. But I had watched some about him, man. This might have been probably about a year ago, and he was just talking about a gay role that he played and how it traumatized. Like playing that gay role traumatized. That's why you can't be doing that, man. Your integrity is everything. Integrity is everything, man. We cannot be on that type of time. Man, hold on. Let me find dude name. Man, every time I need to find something, I can't never find it. But hold on. Let me find dude name real quick, man, because I think y'all need to go tap in and find the interview. Once I might go play it real quick. Shoot, you never know. Hold up. If I could find the brother name. Let me see. Hold up, man. Oh, this dude, man. He been on all type of show. I think bro was in like Snowfall, man. What bro name? Be knowing these actors' names. You be knowing their names in the movie, in the shows and in the movie, but you can't find their names out, man. Hold on. you know. Let me see if I can find it, man, because I like to play that actual interview for real. Like, let me see if I can find it. Straight trying to see. And just like that, man. I'm about to find this though, man. Y'all know I'm gonna find the Thunder Piece. What's happening? Dayton, what's happening? Yeah, that's it. DeAndre. yeah, bro. DeAndre Bonds. That's it. Trying to tell you, I don't be knowing none of their names. I be knowing their names in the movies or in the shows. But yeah, DeAndre Bonds, man, he was talking about that. That affected him. He couldn't take it. He said he cried after doing that joint. He cried after doing that. He cried having to have a role where he had to give a man fellatio. Man, I'm not taking no role like that, fam. If you offer me some type of role like that, say, man, this is part of you. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing that. I don't care if it's acting, and I'm not doing that. I'm not getting portrayed in that type of light. There is no way. There is no dollar amount that you could throw my way to put me in a movie, and part of my role is to give a man some fellatio. No, emphatically no. That movie wasn't meant for me. I'm moving on. You can't pay. There's not an amount of money that you about to place on me, throw my way, that's gonna have me performing that act in a movie getting depicted in that light. No way. No way. No way. Like no way. Yeah, DeAndre Bonds, that's it. Like no, like no way. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way. Now, some of you, I don't know if some of you I don't know if some of you brothers feel differently. Like y'all might have an amount that somebody could throw your way and you performing the fellatio. Because I done heard folks be on that. Ah man, if they give me 5 million, if they offer me a million, if they offer me that 1.5 million or whatever the case, this ain't nothing. I do that. I do that. Man, that's money. Nah, man. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that with me. You get depicted in that light, man. Like you gotta understand, man. You just gotta understand a certain way. I'm not getting depicted in certain lights, man. I ain't getting. I'm sorry, I ain't going. Like I'm just not going. It's certain thing. I remember Lord Jamar was talking about that, and he was talking about his ascension in that industry and how when he would go negotiate, deals and talk about certain roles and how he just like certain things he had to let them know up front. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. So he kind of let him know what it was up front. In the beginning of his career when he started to deal with Hollyweird and whatnot, and he was just like, so when he'll walk in there, man, I'm not doing it. Like, put this in the contract. Like, I ain't doing this. My scene better not. My character better not have this in it. All that. That's the type of stuff that you got to be on. I prefer just not dealing with the industry from the jump and just doing our own thing and eventually watch that pop off. But then once we start doing our own thing, we start to hate on each other a little too hard. And that's why some of these cats end up going over to Hollywood. We got to understand where we be at, man, when it comes to being independent. Man, when you start off independently, we got to, as consumers, man, you got to understand as consumers, as fans, all of that. Man, when somebody starts off independently, man, it's not going to be the best of quality, fam. It's not going to be the best. But if more and more people continue to support the independent producer and all of that, then eventually it gets to that point to where it's like, all right, now the quality is up to par and things along those lines. But man, if we don't ever support that, then it's not going to ever get to that point. And then these people who have aspirations to act or produce, then they're going to end up having to go to the industry where they are getting paid because they see no future in doing it independently because everybody's just talking about them. They're not understanding the long-term vision. We got to support this person now while things are not the best so that it can get to a point to now where the quality and everything is better and up to par. But man, they got to start somewhere. And a lot of times we do not be understanding that. And we give folks a hard time for not giving us the best work initially. They not able to do that. They not these large media machines. They don't have millions and billions of dollars to pour into production. So they doing the best with what they got. And then if more and more of us abandon supporting all this other mainstream nonsense and take our talents and supports to them, then eventually they gonna be able to generate the funds that they need in order to improve the quality of the production and get better writers and all that type of good stuff. But they got to start somewhere, man, and we just don't be understanding that. We gotta. Independent is the way that we should be rolling, man. We gotta stop being influenced by the industry. We gotta stop letting that industry persuade us, and we gotta stop thinking that that's where we need to aim. I need to take, man. I gotta make it to Hollywood. If I can make it to Hollywood or Hollyweird, then I'm in that thing. Like, nah, you can do everything that you need to do solo dolo on your own with your own little group of people. Independently, I should say, because we're not doing anything solo dolo. We all gonna have some type of assistance or help. But like, I don't need Hollyweird. I don't need that industry to make it to the top, man. I can do that on my own. It might be a slower process. It might be a harder grind, but I can do it. So we need to stop thinking that, all right, I'm aiming to make it to Hollywood. If I make it to Hollywood, it don't get any higher than this. Like, no. Matter of fact, it don't get any lower than that for real. As far as your integrity, as far as your morals, as far as all of that goes, it gets no lower than that. It gets no lower than that industry. Like, come on now. Jeff Peace, what's happening? What's happening? Q, and then so now Q, now that's another thing. Now I'm glad you mentioned stories about what went on in the hood in regards to rap music. Because I'm going to say up front initially, that was the reality. Now, and then even on top of that, so you did have what we call, because I'm a fan of gangster rap, things like that. Like, I could name all of the gangster rap. Like, I grew up to that genre. But what happened was, it was that we had a point in time where we had some balance. So you had the gangster rap, you had the people that was painting, you had the OGs that was painting the picture of what was happening in the neighborhoods. You had that. But then you also had a ton of what they would call conscious music to balance it out, or the political rap to balance that out. The media, like mainstream for these white folks, these white Jews, whatever you want to call them, they got wind of that, and they start to see how powerful the political music was in influencing the minds of the people. And they was like, hold up. So we got to make this underground, and then we gonna keep the gangster rap on the mainstream, or we gonna keep the rap with a more, and I'm not gonna say a destructive, because again, they was getting stuff off their chest, let people, but it's destructive if you don't know any better. So they was like, we gonna let that type of rap make it to the mainstream, and we gonna let that type of rap be the only type of music that folks hear when it comes to rap, to the point where people think, you got people that be like, man, I don't listen to rap because it's this, that, and the third. Well, they made that happen. They made it happen to where the rap with a political message became what we call underground rap. Like literally, when you mention underground rap, there's literally only one type of rap that's associated with underground rap. For the most part, it's rap with some type of substance or message behind it in regards to just politics, knowledge dropping, all of that. That type of rap or hip hop literally gets labeled underground. They did that. They structured it that way because they saw how powerful that type of music was on a mainstream level. And they also saw how powerful the gangster rap could be on a mainstream level and the type of influence that it could have. And they said, okay, we'd rather that type of music get repeated more often than Public Enemy, than somebody telling us to fight the power, then Brand Nubian and Poor Righteous Teachers. We'd rather have this type of music be on the mainstream. And that's what they did. So we had a lot more balance back in the day. They eliminated the balance. So now when it comes to rap, and you would be listening to the radio, and it's only one type of rap that you hear. It's only one type of rap. And then they may sprinkle a few political messages in there. They may sprinkle a few of them in there. But man, we got plenty of hip hop, man, where there's a message. And I'm just talking back in the day. Now, like you got Apple, you got all these apps and things like that. I'm talking about back in the day with radio play, and you had to watch the music videos. Like they had to phase a certain type of like hip hop out. They had to phase it out because it was too influential. It's too influential. They had to phase it out because a lot of people don't know how to do exactly what you just said. Separate real life from entertainment. Because at the end of the day, real life and entertainment can be one and the same. KRS called it edutainment, but at the end of the day, entertainment, it's almost like a joke, fam. It's almost like when some people be like, there's some truth in a joke. Like, man, you was joking, but it was truth in your joke. Entertainment is the same way. Just because something is entertainment don't make it a fallacy, doesn't make it false. There is truth in plenty of entertainment. So we got to understand that. So there's a lot of truth in what we consider entertainment. That's why sometimes they label these things as entertainment. They throw the truth in it because they want us to just view it as something that's false, something that's a fallacy. No, just like there's truth in a lot of jokes, we got truth in a lot of entertainment. And you said it. Look, you even put it in the response, Q. You said rap music is stories about what went on in the hood, just like movies. If you can't separate real life from entertainment, they literally was painting pictures of what went on. So it might have been entertainment, but it was some reality attached to it because they was painting pictures of what they seen and went through. So again, it's still some level, some ounce of reality within that entertainment. And that's how they get us. That's how they bamboozle us. They make us look at it and say, oh, this ain't nothing but entertainment. This ain't real. Nah, there's some elements of reality in that thing. There's some elements of reality in that thing that's called entertainment for sure. 1,000%. 1,000%. But they wanted to give us one form of it predominantly because they know the type of influence. Music outside of even lyrics, fam, just outside of lyrics, music itself has a powerful influence on your ways and actions. We can start talking about vibrations, frequencies, drums, or your African ancestors knew all about that. You know, the marching to the drum. Like they knew about this. They knew the power of instrumentation. So you can take away the beat. You can, I mean, not the beat. You can take away the lyrics. You can take away the hook, and you still have the beat. And that beat itself can be powerful enough to get you to do something. That beat itself can be powerful enough to influence you to move a certain type of way. And most of the time, that's what's happening. That's why they choose a certain beat, and then they give you that repetitive hook. It's all the beat and the hook. You don't even know what the verses are saying. How many songs can you say that about? Thousands of songs where you don't even know the actual verses, but you know that hook and it's that beat. You be like, man, that beat, this, that, and the third. Man, I like this song because of the beat. I don't know what they saying though. I just know the hook. Man, that's how they got you. So they can literally take away the verses, just give you the hook and the beat, and they got you. They hypnotize you. They got you. They got you to move a way that they want you to move, and you ain't even realizing what's going on. And that's why you got a bunch of music like that, to where the beat nice, the hook nice, but then the verses they ain't said nothing, because they know they don't have to say nothing, because they got you with the beat, they got you with the hook. That's how they get you. They do a great job of that in the music industry. They do a great job of that. Like straight up. That's why I had to tap out of that. That's why I had to get out of a zone to where I was just listening to music strictly for the beats. And you talking about somebody that grew up. Soon as I was able to drive, I started putting subs at 212s in my car with the amps, all that. You know, I decked the car out. So you talking about a beat man, like bass. I wanted to hear that bass. That's why I put beats in my whip, man. I'm talking about $2, $3, $4,000 worth of work into a car so I can hear beats, so I can hear bass. So you talking about somebody that was that gravitated towards bass, that gravitated towards certain beats. I didn't care what the song was saying. I wanted to hear that bass. I wanted to beat down your block. I wanted you to hear me miles away. But then I had to detach from that. I'm like, man, this stuff is instilling a certain type of energy in me. Let me start paying attention to really what's being said. You know, so I had to step back. I had to detach from that. Like, man, let me listen to what they actually saying. Then when you start paying attention to what they actually saying, you like, oh, nah, hold up. Now that's why I've been having this type of energy. You know, that's why I've been feeling the way that I've been feeling. That's why I've been moving the way that I've been moving. Man, this song been saying this whole time. So I had to detach from that, man. I had to start paying attention to, man, what are they saying? What are the lyrics? You know, what is going on here? Like, for real. You know, so you gotta understand that. Like I said, I grew up at, like, man, I want to hear the beats, the bass. Man, I'm playing things strictly for the beat. Then I stepped back and started really paying attention to what was being said. You know, when you gravitate towards the beat, like, you know, every few words you might hear something like, man, what dude just say? But then that beat just got you, so you don't really care what you just heard. You're not processing it. But when you say, you know what, boom, forget this beat, let me pay attention to what they say, you start processing these lyrics, you like, oh, okay. Okay. Like, okay, I see what's going on. You know, so then now I'm able to listen to music where the beats might not necessarily be the most attractive, but the lyrics are. Like, I can listen to like a Cannabis. Man, ain't nobody about to be listening to no Cannabis beat and be like, man, that beat is amazing. But man, what he's saying is amazing. So now I'm able to do that because I detach myself from being mesmerized and hypnotized by beats. So now I can just focus on lyrics. Like, I can literally listen to something and just X the beat out of my mind and head. I'm not gonna let this beat influence my perception toward this song. Let me listen to what they saying first. So now I'm able to process things like that, man. And that's how they get us a lot via the music. You know, you just look at that beat, look at that hook. Nope, I'll forget this hook. I don't care what this hook's saying. Get this beat. Let me pay attention to what they saying in these verses. Like, let me pay attention. Let me pay attention. Let me pay attention. You know, let me pay attention for real. Oh no, Q for sure. No, Q, I get what you're saying 100%. All I'm saying is there are some truthful elements within the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Like even Tony Montana, like I said, it's some elements of that deal in reality in regards to how that whole, that whole lifestyle. And then on top of that, Tony Montana, how many people got influenced by Tony Montana? That's another thing. That entertainment has massive influence. So something can start off as fiction, but then it can influence some reality because that's just the way of the world. So it's just true. It's truthful elements within it. Now, is it 100% truthful? Nah, but there's some truthful elements within entertainment for sure. For sure. Hey, peace to everybody that's tapping in. My brother Terenzo, appreciate that donation for sure. Yeah, Q, Chicago. I'm 4 hours away from you, St. Louis. I already know. I already know. And this is another thing I always say. Like, I don't even have I don't even per se have a problem. When it comes to music, like I don't have a problem with the little if you live in a certain type of lifestyle and that's your music. It's your choice of music. My thing is balance. They destroyed the balance. Like even with the female rap nowadays, the lack of balance. Like back in the day, you was able to go listen to Lil Kim, all right, okay, boom. But then here go Lauryn Hill, Badu, Latifah, MC, like all of these people out here. So you had options within the mainstream. Now the only time you had them, you got to go find the options. The mainstream ain't pushing the balance. Back then it was a little bit of balance even within the mainstream. Like Lil Kim and Lauryn Hill was on the same platforms. Like you ain't have to go search for Lauryn Hill. The same platform or the same radio station that might play that play Lil Kim or play a Lauryn Hill song, play Erykah Badu song. Back in the day, they ain't like that. They ain't like that. They ain't like that. It was like, hold on, we just gotta create an environment where we ain't playing nothing but Sexy Red and what's the other Sukiana, all these type of individuals. We can't have but we can't have Cyrock, Jean Grey, Rhapsody. We can't have them on the airwaves with them also. Like, no, we can't do that. We gotta make it look like this the only type of rap that's making it. This the only type of rap that you can do as a woman that will generate you a decent amount of money. That's what we got to make it seem like. And that's what they have done. Wow, you got plenty of talented female MCs that's, I'm pretty sure, making a decent living with a righteous message. But they don't want you to see that. They don't want you to see like Lauryn Hill, man. You create an album that's still being talked about, and you didn't have to go out your way to look a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Like you just your natural self, and you create one of the best albums of all time. And you did some cover songs on that joint. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. They couldn't, you couldn't see that. They couldn't allow women to continue to see that type of situation go down. So they say, all right, boom, let's mess this all up. All you about to see, Sexy Red, Sukianas, Cardi B's, Megan Thee Stallions, all these folks, all that type of message. That's it. You're going to see no other message. No other message, fam. None. Like for real. That the balance was way better, especially for the female. Like the females got it bad now. Like the women, the women part of it horrible. Like the balance is horrible now for women MCs, for women rap, whatever you want to call it. The balance is terrible, is trash, horrible. Horrible as far as like just mainstream and who's known and things like that. It's horrible. It is terrible. They've done a good job. They've done a good job in creating that imbalance for sure. Yeah, Bahamadia, man, come on now. Man, come on. Moni Love, like man, we could just start naming all these. All these women that just came through and just blessed the mic, man, that was dope. Like, come on now. But now, when you see a female that's known for rapping, it's about to be one message attached to it. It's about to be one style of rap attached to it. Dominique, what's happening, my brother? One style of rap attached to it. If it's a mainstream known female artist, it's about to be one style of rap, one message behind it, and it's about to be horrible. About to be horrible. Just call it what it is, horrible. Like I don't want to hear none of that. Back in the day, you had the men, like we wanted to, like, man, I'm playing this Lauryn Hill. You know, I listen to this Badu. We knowing, man, I don't want to listen to no Sexy Red, bro. I don't want to listen to no Suki. I don't want to listen to no Megan Thee Stallion. I don't want to listen to them. I don't want to listen to that. You know, I don't want to listen to that. Like I don't want to listen to that, man. Like they doing a great job of just phasing men out of everything. Like they don't even, when they pushing a message or a product, they not even caring about the black man and what he might like. They don't create in the mainstream. They rarely create anything for the black man. Seriously, like when they come up with movies, when they come up with music, they not like, hey, let black men are like this. Nope. Nope. They looking at us like, what can we put out to make black men hate it? That's what they do. When they having these marketing meetings, you know, when they meet up, they be like, ooh, okay, we need to create a product or we need to create a song and we need to make sure black men hate it. That's how they looking at us. They not looking at us like, oh, that's a valuable market. Let's create something where black men can like it and support it. No, they want us to despise it. They not caring about us when they when they out here pushing their products, services, songs, all that. They trying to phase us out of everything. They don't even want us to be consumers anymore. Like straight up. Oh yeah, Thunder. Hey, Rod Digger, man, for sure. Hey, Rod Digger. Hey, I'll give y'all one that y'all probably forgot about that used to be cold back in the day. Miss Jade. Y'all don't even probably remember her. She was, I think, from Philly. Miss Jade was dope. It might not have been the political comp, man, but she was dope. Hey, Free from 106 in Park back in the day. She was cold on the mic. Now, you gotta ask yourself, man, she was cold. People don't even know that. People, man, listen, Free from 106 in Park was cold on the mic. She got a song with Cannabis and ripped that man to shreds on his song. And I'm a Cannabis fan, bro. And she tore that man up on the song. Man, Free is cold. But when you think of Free now, you only know her from that. Man, Free Pen Game was crazy, but she didn't make it musically. Are you serious? Ain't no reason why a Pen Game that crazy, man. The bars that I done heard for Free, there's no reason why she shouldn't have made it rapping. That's because she wasn't pushing a certain type of message as a female. They wanted Free. Hey, look, Free, we want you to be this, but you a little too lyrical. We can't do that. Man, Free was cold. Lorenzo, my brother, appreciate that. We live in an opinionated society for sure, but they got everything misconstrued so bad that it's hard to determine the facts from what's fiction. Just in every industry, even me being in the fitness space, you got everything so misconstrued. What they say, discombobulated. It's hard for people to know what's real. It's hard for people to know what's not real or truthful or facts or whatever the case may be. It's hard, man, because they got everything so jumbled up out here. You know, they got, and that's with all the industries. You know, with all the industries, just in the fitness space, when you start looking up how to lose weight, man, you're gonna come across 1,000 different methods. 1,000 different methods. 1,000 different methods, man. You're gonna come across 1,000. They got everything justified. You know, they got everything justified. Everything justified. So they have done this on purpose. You know, and that's one of the things that I talk about with social media. You know, so a lot of times, like, you got people that and I can't stand this, but even in my field as a trainer, man, you got people that tell me they didn't research something in regards to weight loss. And first thing I'm like, what platform, like how was your research process? How did that go? Oh, well, I looked it up on Google. Man, it's so much that Google doesn't have on here. It's so much that they don't allow to surface on Google. Like, come on now, you got people that just use Google as their fact checking engine. Man, it's a lot deeper than that. In regards to just opinions and facts, we just need to get back into the skill of researching, thoroughly researching. That's how I feel about it. Research, that's an art, that's a science. People don't research anymore. They just gonna Google some and they might skim through 2 or 3 articles and be like, all right, I got it. Man, it's way a lot of these topics are way deeper than just that. So I done had a lot of people, I looked it up on Google and they said, or I watched this YouTube clip of this trainer and he said, you know how many times people quote me stuff like that? Man, I was watching this dude on Instagram and he said this, or I was watching this dude on YouTube and he said that. I say, listen, the stuff I may tell you is unorthodox, unconventional. So the stuff that I tell you, you might look it up and you may not find it, or you may look it up and people may tell you to do the complete opposite. They've got it to the point where the nutritional advice that I would give somebody, you look some of this stuff up and they gonna tell you why what I'm saying is not true. They gonna tell you why you shouldn't go vegan, why you shouldn't fast, why you shouldn't go 24, 48 hours fast and all this type of stuff. Man, you might see more articles like that opposed to articles that's telling you the benefits of a 48-hour fast or the benefits of, what I'm saying? Like that's the game they playing. They have regulated the internet, they have regulated these search engines for sure, to the point where people just confused out here. That's why people be struggling to lose weight. That's why people be struggling to gain, because there's just so much misinformation out here. But if your research skills are not up to point, you don't know how to determine if something is misinformation or not. You just accepting whatever it is that you come across. So we got to learn how to be able to determine when something is misinformation. And that's a trait that many people do not have, that we must learn to develop. Man, Dominique, for sure. And then even with something as simple as eat right, they get confused with that. They don't know what eat right means, because there's 1,000 different diets out here where they tell you that's the right way to eat. People just be confused, man, because so much out here and it's overload. That's why I'm like, man, sometimes, man, just step away from Google, and all these platforms are gonna overload you with a bunch of BS half the time. Man, we got to step back and we just got to go back to the trenches, go back to the basics. Hey, read some stuff that was out back in the day and work your way up. Like, really research something, man. Really research the first method, like the first ways that they was encouraging people to lose weight, or research the first reasons to why they said people are becoming obese. Just start from there. Start from the basics and work your way up to now and see how we got to where we are at now. Like, do that. It's a slow process, man. Slow process. Research, and always fact check. Always fact check. But that's another skill, that's another art that we have lost. People don't be really wanting to read. They want to skim through something and then say they understand it. Man, it's people that dedicate their whole entire lives to subjects, to topics, and you telling me that you didn't mastered it by skimming 2 websites. Nah, never that. That you disrespecting the folks that spend 40 years on this subject, and you think you got it understood in 2 minutes because you skimmed through 2 articles. No. Like, not at all. That's why I'm gonna always advocate busting open these books, fam, busting open these magazines, all this type of stuff. We too dependent upon internet search engines, and we know how they didn't phase out a lot of the information on the internet. So in one breath, we always talking about, oh man, they be deleting they be deleting this, that, and the third. They don't want to allow no truth to surface on the internet. And then we go back and then we say we use that as proof for something that we talking about. The internet. The same internet that we were just criticizing, now we using that same internet as evidence to prove a point. Man, come on now. Man, I got, like I said, I'm glad I bought some books when I bought them. I got some books right now that you can't get off the internet because they have been removed. They have been banned. They've been banned, they've been removed. So if you try to look for this type of content that's within these books, can't find it because the book has been removed. Now, what that tell you, fam? Just like we didn't have videos removed. I done had plenty of videos deleted. What does that tell you, fam? What does that tell you when I put out a video 8-10 months ago, then now they randomly delete it and say it was medical misinformation, and that video ain't had, like, the title of that video ain't had nothing to do with that. Come on now. They don't want certain pieces of information to make it to the first page of the search engine for y'all know the reasons. They not trying to protect the people. They not trying to get rid of the medical misinformation. They don't care about y'all enough like that. So don't give them the benefit of that doubt at all. You know what they call it? Informed consent. We don't have that. It's never informed consent. You know, they are persuading your decision making because they're not giving you all the sides, man. When you look up something, you just use the internet as your tool, you're not making an informed decision. You making an informed decision based on the one side that they are allowing you to see and read about. Informed consent don't exist when it comes to the internet as a search engine. If that's your only tool to make a decision, you didn't make an informed decision. Like you didn't weigh both sides. Like you didn't do the knowledge to both sides, then make an informed decision. It's impossible strictly using the internet. It's impossible. It's impossible when it comes to certain topics. It's impossible, fam. It is impossible. When it comes to certain subjects, when it comes to vaccines, when it comes to how to eat, when it comes to all of that type of stuff, man, when it comes to politics, when it comes to things like that, if you using the internet solely, you're not making an informed decision. Your decision has been persuaded by the folks with the money. It has been persuaded by the evil folks that you talk about. That's who has persuaded or influenced your decision. And you're going to make the decision that they want you to make because that's the only information that you have come across. You didn't come across the other side. Just think about it. If I'm creating a vaccine and I need my people to get this vaccine to push my agenda, and then, so what am I going to do? Why would I give them information that lets them know how dangerous a vaccine could be? More than likely, if I give them that information, they're not going to want to get the vaccine, especially if they're already skeptical. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to phase out that information. I'm going to phase that out. When it comes to the dangers of vaccines, I'm going to phase that information out. I'm going to be like, there are no dangers. There are no dangers. Anybody that's talking about the danger, they get removed. So now when you look up vaccine, all you see are benefits. All you see are benefits, or all you see are people debunking the anti-vaxxers. That's what you see. So all you see is benefits, 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 debunking anti-vaxxer, debunking anti-vaxxer. But you don't see the anti-vaxxers anymore. Their information is gone. So you only seeing one side. So if that's all I'm seeing, then what decision am I more likely to make? I'm more than likely going to get the vaccine now because that's the only information accessible to me. To get a vaccine, I'm only seeing benefits. I'm only seeing reasons why to get it, and I'm only seeing why the anti-vaxxers are crazy. So if that's all my mind is consuming, then that's the decision that I'm going to make. And they know that. So that's why they do that when it comes to certain things. Like I said, politics, vaccines, the foods to eat, all of that. They're going to only show you one side. And they're going to make the other side look crazy. Fam, I didn't have plenty of videos deleted when I was trying to put people on game when it was that time. And them videos don't exist anymore, so you can't even see them. You can't go, I can't even pull them up. I can't even pull the videos up because they're gone. They deleted them. They deleted them, so you can't look it up, fam. So they controlling that, fam. If you want to control how people move, if you want to control people, then you control the information that they receive. This is this is at the top when it comes to just propaganda, when it comes to manipulation, when it comes to that. Man, I studied that for marketing purposes. It's part of my degree field, man. If you want to get the people to do what you want them to do, control the information that they receive and consume. Once you control their information, you can get them to do whatever it is you want them to do. How do you control the information? You control the media. So that's what they do. They control your information by controlling the media, and then now they control you because they control what you consume. They control what you think. So now they control how you think. They control how you behave. You know? So that's what they be doing, man. And again, I tell people all the time, you thinking you making an informed decision. You thinking that you literally sat down and researched something and made a decision based on the research, and you done weighed the pros and cons of both sides. You have not done that. You have not done that. You don't see all the information that they have removed from these platforms, man. So now you're not making the informed decision that you think you're making. And that's real. Like, that's real. Like, as soon as I started to go live on YouTube, I got hit with a strike. You know, I got hit with some deletions and I got hit with a strike. Soon as I started to go hard on here, they was like, nope, you got a strike. You get 2 more of these, your channel gone instantly. Soon as I started, it didn't take me 6 months. It didn't take me 6 months to get a strike. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's how we rocking. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was this bad. I guess I had to get on there and experience it for myself. As soon as I got 6 months, boom, there we go. Give him a strike. He talking crazy already. So they put that strike on me quickly. So I know from experience that when you try to present the other side of certain subjects, you get removed. So now it don't even people can't even get that knowledge from you unless they know you in person. You know, you got to email me to get this information. You know what I'm saying? And you about can't do it through the email. That's how crazy it is out here. Hey, Shamari, for sure, man. Hey, I'm just like, I wish I was streaming back in the day. And I wish I had access to my first Facebook page. Wish I had it so y'all could see some of the stuff that I was saying. Man, it's listen. And this ain't even on no hater vibes. It's just truth from people that know me. Man, you got people right now, man. People be sharing some of these dudes that be talking about eating healthy, certain things they be talking about. People be sharing some of these videos, and it be people, and it's the thing, be people that I know, and it be people that has known me for years. They be sharing some of these dudes that are saying things that I was saying 12, 13 years ago, that when I was saying it then, they deleted me from the book. They said I was crazy, whoop-de-whoop, all that. Now, granted, everybody gonna learn on their own time, and when you're ready, then you're gonna get that information. But I'm like, man, people, hey, they got some type of long-term memory loss because they start sharing these videos and be like, oh man, this deep, these brothers on point. And I'm like, man, when I was saying this same thing 10 years ago, you were saying that I was crazy and I was tripping. You didn't forgot about that? I'm here to remind you of that. Man, I have been talking about fasting. Y'all know I can't tell you the last time I had some meat. Y'all know I done been on that type of time for a very long time. And I was on that type of stuff when it wasn't popular to talk about. Now you got a bunch of folks that might have even been tapped into some of the stuff that was going on that I was saying back then. You never know who be watching you, you know. But now you got people resurfacing with this exact message, which is cool. But my thing is, man, the folks that be sharing it be the same folks that used to call me crazy back in the day. So that's why I just be sitting back laughing. Like if y'all just would have listened 10 years ago, just imagine where you would have been, or just imagine where we would have been if you didn't write folks off back in the day as crazy for saying this same exact stuff that you sharing now. Like that be the hardest thing for me to accept sometimes. Like, bro, I was telling you this 10 years ago. Like I was, as soon as I read How to Eat to Live, I told you about it. I told you to eat one meal a day, eat one meal every other day. Man, I was getting you hip right then and there. I was telling you, hey, put that swine, put that chicken down, put that meat down, eat these fruits and veggies. Go 7 days on raw fruits and raw veggies. Go 7 days on juices. Go seven. I mean, I've been saying this. Go 30 days on juices. Mucusless diet, all this type of stuff. Man, been pushing that type of stuff. Man, I got the mucusless diet healing system book right behind me. And man, this book has been in my mix for like 12, 13 years. Man, I've been on that type of time. I just recently then just got off of I don't talk about that type of stuff anymore because I spent so much time back then talking about it. But people then forgot who somebody like who brought some of this stuff to their attention. See, people don't understand why they even like why some of this is even resonate with them, because somebody tried to put you on game years ago and you ignored them. But the subconscious mind don't forget. So now you ready for it, and now this message making sense. And you ain't really understanding why. It's because somebody tried to plant that seed in you 12, 13 years ago and you ignored it. That's why I don't ignore none of that. That's why I don't ignore none of that, man. When somebody trying to plant some seeds, to me, I listen. I listen, man. When I came across those books, I implemented what the book said immediately. I implemented it immediately. I wasn't playing around like, okay, this book telling me to do what? It's telling me to stop eating pork, stop eating this, stop eating that. Cool, I'm stop. You gotta tell me twice. Oh, Shamari, man, hey, for sure. And that's why I'm grateful and I'm thankful for the folks that do tap in, because I'm not for the short attention span folks, and I haven't even touched the surface. And I've been saying this for years, but timing is everything. Y'all know about something that's called divine timing, but timing is everything. I'm waiting, man. I'm sitting on a bunch of information and I'm just waiting to unleash. It still ain't the right time yet to do it. It's still not. I'm still not gonna do it, But I ain't touched the surface in regards to some of the stuff that I can be touching on and talking about, because I know, how society is. So I done a few things just to generate a little buzz, get some attention, and I'm just waiting. When I get to a certain point, it's gonna be like, man, listen, transformation gonna be crazy. The information that I'm gonna start dropping gonna be crazy, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. What they say, patience is a virtue. Patience, man. I'm practicing patience. It's like, man, I want to hit y'all with a ton of stuff, but I'm not gonna do it just yet. I'm not gonna do it just yet, man. Timing is everything. Timing is everything, man. Timing is everything, man. I got listen, I got stuff that I'm sitting on to where it can cause a lot of problems, but them problems ain't ready to be caused just yet. They ain't ready to be caused. I can, man, listen, I'm known for sparking thoughts, sparking minds, but I ain't been on that type of time heavy like I used to be. I'm slowly working my way back up to that. Anybody that knew me from my Facebook page back in the day know exactly what I'm talking about. Know exactly what I'm talking about. I ain't been on that vibe, but I'm slowly but surely working my way back up into that type of time, man. Slowly but surely. Oh yeah, the library, is real. I invest in this knowledge. I don't just talk about it. Y'all see it behind me. Y'all see it, and we really dive into this subject, man. We dive into these books. We dive into them. We dive into them, Elijah. Appreciate that cash app. We dive into this information for real. That's my part of my life's work. When I was talking about purpose, it's part of my purpose, man, is to do the knowledge and get this information, spark the minds of the people. The black people is who I do this for. Y'all know that. We ain't gonna never deviate from that. I'm not gonna never create some universal message for everybody. Nah, I don't do that. My message is not for the other man. You know what I'm saying? It's not for them. It's specifically for my people. 100,000%. You know, so we literally do the knowledge. Like my life's work is to do this research, to read these books. Cause don't nobody, like a lot of most people don't want to do it. So I'm here to do the dirty work. It's tedious to sit that man out. If you are a reader, you know it's tedious, man. Reading these books, comprehending, highlight, taking notes, really understanding the topic, man, that ain't easy, fam. It's not easy to researching and studying and reading is not an easy task. And it's not the most exciting task, you know, but somebody got to do this challenging work so that we can correct all the errors that's out here. That's part of my life's mission. That's part of my purpose. Man, devote your time, sacrifice that time to research, to read, do the tedious work. You know, the paperwork that folks don't want to do. It's almost like going into business. Folks, they just like if you got a restaurant, you just want to cook. You don't want to do the taxes, man. You don't want to create the business plan. You don't want to talk about marketing. You just want to do what you're good at. Well, that's this right here. A lot of folks don't want to do the knowledge, man. A lot of folks don't want to do that, man. They just want to do what they are good at. Well, I'm here to give you this information. You know, open your eyes to certain things that's going on. You know, because a lot of folks don't want to do that now. A lot of folks don't want to dive into that, you know, because they're afraid of what they may find out. But it is what it is. I'm going to tell you this information that you may be afraid to find out. Then we're going to work on those solutions and what we need to do in order to prevent some of this stuff from happening or in order to fight it if it's already happening. But man, if we try to turn our, heads away from it, that don't take away from the fact that it's still going on. So just because you are ignoring something don't mean that it's not a reality. And that's what we got to understand. Just because you don't want to tap in with something don't mean that it's not happening and don't mean it won't affect you. So I don't choose to ignore these things because eventually it's going to affect me in some way, shape, or form. So let me tap in. It may not be pleasant. It may not be the most peaceful information, but I got to tap in. I got to know what's coming my way. I don't want to be in the so-called dark when it comes to a lot of this stuff, Hey, Chaz, peace, what's happening? Oh yeah, Shamar, hey, for real. That's why I don't even be tripping, man. I got even as a trainer, fam, man. I had one of my clients literally told me. One of my clients was just like, man, you should be much bigger than what you are, just as a trainer. Fam, wasn't even talking about don't ain't even talking about like this stuff. They're just talking about me training. I'm like, man, it's a reason why somebody such as myself. It's a reason. It's a reason. They not, man. Most of these trainers, because I know the folks around here. Most of these trainers have been on the news. They done been on all type of, man. They not finna. Nobody finna invite me to be on the news to talk about fitness because they don't want to hear what I'm about to say. You give me this microphone and you put me on this news and you ask me anything about fitness, I'm about to tell you something that they do not want the people to hear. Trust me. Like trust me 1,000%. 1,000%. They don't want to hear anything that I got to say when it comes to that. So you're not gonna see me on the news. First of all, you see the image. I'm not about to be looking a certain type of way neither. I'm about to show up how I want to show up. Like I'm one of the ones, like you're not controlling me, man. I'm gonna do what it is that I want to do. And I recommend, like I encourage all men to move like that. Like I got my what we call self-style wisdom. I got my own style. I got my own way that I operate. I got my own way that I move. I got my own way that I dress. And I don't let anybody alter that. So hey, if you can't accept me for who I am, I don't need to be on that platform. I don't need to be in your presence, fam, because I'm gonna be me regardless. I'm gonna be myself regardless. I'm gonna show up to the news in my skull cap. Like I don't care nothing about none of that. I'm gonna show up how I feel like it. You know, if it's cold, I want to throw the Scully on, I'm gonna throw the Scully on. You know, that's how I'm pulling up. Y'all feel intimidated, so what? You know, I'm gonna show up how y'all see me is how I'm gonna show up. I ain't finna front for you. You know, I don't operate like that, fam. Like I just don't operate. I've always been me. I've always been me. Juan, you say, do I got a book? Man, I got several books. I got 3 books for sure. I got the first book I ever wrote was Living While Black in America. Second book I wrote was called Energy, INNERG. And that was just a book on how to manifest the life that you want. And the third book I got, now this is the book you can find on Amazon. It's called Inner Mask. And I wrote that during the pandemic. And that was basically how to keep your immune system, you know, strong and intact during a pandemic. The first 2 books that I mentioned, I don't have them up on any platforms, but I do have some of the copies. You know, I do have physical copies of those books. I just don't have them on any platform. The third book that I mentioned is on Amazon for sure, and I think it's like $6.99 or something like that. And I'm working on a few other joints. Yeah, I'm working on a few others, man. Be on the lookout for that. I got a few other books that's gonna be dropping here very soon, man. So we are in the process of working for sure. Like I'm gonna go crazy with the book releases this particular year, you know. So be on the lookout for that. So it's funny that you mentioned that. You know, we about to shut them down. That's one way that I'm gonna lead this legacy. You know, that's one way that I'm gonna get my message across through the books. You know what they say. You want to hide something from some folks, put it in a book. Well, I'm gonna do the same thing just in reverse. You know, I want to hide something from the white folks. I'm gonna put it in the book and get this book out to my peoples. That's how we gonna do it. Like they think that's how they operate. I'm operating the same way. I'm putting my message in a book too. So y'all think that's the way to hide something from me? That's the way to hide something from them too. Again, you gotta understand it. They giving you the they giving you the code. They giving you the process. They giving you the way to beat them. They giving you the formula. The same formula that they using on us, we can use on them. It applies. You want to hide something from them, put it in that book. Put it in that book. And get that book to your people. You know, get that book to your people, man. The last book I dropped, the Inner Mass book, I got that to my people. A lot of my people made changes based off of that book. When a lot of white folks, there ain't a lot of white folks that got that book and read that book. So we hiding stuff from them, and we getting it directly to my people. And it's changing the game. You know, that book still exists, but some of the stuff that I talked about in that book got my videos deleted, but that book still exists though. But some of that content within the book that I talked about on YouTube got deleted, but they couldn't. They ain't, that book still exists. And even if they try to remove the book from platforms, I still can have physical copies of that book, so they can't stop me with that book. They can't stop me. They can't stop me. But y'all just wait and see the next books that I'm gonna drop, man. It's gonna get deeper and deeper, man. We're gonna just keep diving in. Like I say, man, I'm plotting. Everything, man, what they say. Every move is a calculated step. That's Tupac. Every move is a calculated step. So best believe we moving in a calculated fashion. I got some tricks up my sleeves, man. Got some tricks up my sleeves. For sure. Best believe it. But y'all, man, with that being said, man, I ain't been tapped in on the live stream in a minute. So this was peace. You know, but I'm about to serve my time. I need to get back to my studies while I'm speaking on that. You know, but I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. I appreciate the donations, man, the cash apps, all that good stuff, man. It's always peace tapping in. I'm trying to get back into the rhythm of streaming, you know, but I just been busy in the gym building that up, man. Y'all know how the new year go, get a bunch of new clients. Everybody want to get in shape, you know, so I've been dealing with that, you know, but once things die back down, as far as that little hype goes, then we gonna be back in this thing streaming consistently, giving y'all this game, giving y'all these jewels. You know, but I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all get back to enjoying y'all Sunday. Don't know the next time I'm a stream, but just be on the lookout. As always, man. Y'all know I pop up when I can pop up. But man, y'all be easy. Enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday. I'm out. Peace.